During the course of their driving, truck drivers may sometimes capture instances on their dashcams that cannot be explained. Thus, the following are moments after truck drivers saw extraordinary demonic activity. A truck driver who was traveling through Arizona said that his dashcam captured what seemed to be a demonic figure. During the early morning hours of March 11, 2024, William Church said that he was traveling on State Route 87 around mile marker 200 when he came across a figure that seemed to be translucent and was standing on the side of the road. As far as Church is concerned, there were no automobiles in sight while he was between Phoenix and Payson. He characterized the figure in question as just standing in the roadway. As I passed by, looks like you can see the lines through the legs making the figure. Due to the fact that it is one of the most important roadways in the state for traveling to and from mountain settlements, State Route 87 has been the scene of a number of fatal vehicle accidents. A few days after the footage attracted the attention of a large number of people, on March 14, local news had the opportunity to speak with two individuals who had seen it for the first time: the truck driver, who believed it to be a human, and another individual who was riding in the passenger seat and believed it to be a demonic figure. At first, I thought it was a human, and then when you can't really see the face and the top of the body up, I wondered what, and we were thinking maybe it was a ghost, said Lake in response. When they arrived at their next rest break, Church took a more in-depth look at the situation. We don't know if it was a person or something spiritual or something, but it was in a form of a human. That's all I know. Furthermore, Jared Hogel, a professor emeritus of English at the University of Arizona, gave a seminar on March 14th regarding the footage, which caused a lot of people to wonder what they saw in the video. There could be another explanation, but there's also the possibility, like with flying objects, it could be from alien places, they could be supernatural, or this could be a ghostly figure. According to Hogel, who is well recognized as a leading specialist in Gothic literature, he has conducted research on sightings that occurred in the 19th century and are comparable to what is seen in the footage. It's appealing to think that it might be supernatural, but there's also a possibility of another explanation, and it's sort of fun to be on the cutting edge of one or the other without having to decide, said Hogel. When a truck driver observed a demonic figure standing by the side of the truck, he was shocked. Several moments later, the demonic figure vanished. As a result of the convoy's extreme fear, the drivers decided to abandon their intentions to spend the night at a lay-by that was located nearby. Instead, they pushed their foot down and continued driving for another 100 kilometers before they eventually came to a stop, as reported by the local media. In photographs shot by his frightened coworkers, the lady was seen wearing a red coat, which was reminiscent of the woman who committed the murder in the famous horror film Don't Look Now. In a strange occurrence that was uploaded on YouTube, the driver's Tesla sensors allegedly spotted what looked to be a number of people strolling about his vehicle. To make matters worse, he and his friends were traveling past a cemetery that was completely vacant. In other words, this possible paranormal activity occurred on the road beside a cemetery close to the Arnold estate, which served as the real-life basis for the film The Conjuring, which was released in 2013. The photos of individuals strolling flashed on the motion sensor display of the Tesla while the driver, who remained anonymous, drove by this cemetery. Also, you are able to hear the group of people in the vehicle reacting in astonishment as more and more ghosts emerge in the cemetery as they stop to gawk at the terrible scene that is unfolding on the pedestrian sensor screen. The drivers are much more frightened than they were before, because there is a moment when it seems as if the spirits are encircling the Tesla. As they drove into the parking lot, the sensor showed someone standing in front of a grave. Also, the driver claims that his cousin and a buddy were standing outside at the time, but they ultimately got inside the vehicle. If this were the case, it would undoubtedly be an instance of the sensors picking up a person. But as the number of people increases, and they seem to be in different locations, the drivers are left giggling in perplexity. The driver, who has not been identified, asserts that he is an employee of Tesla, and that this is not some kind of humorous joke that Elon Musk, the creator of Tesla, has inserted into the software of the vehicle. I can confirm this is not an Easter egg Elon added, as I've tried this many times. It's not just picking up the gravestones, as even if it was, they would show as stationary on the screen, the driver said, according to a report by SWNS. Despite the fact that it is not known which model of Tesla this was, it is evident that the high-tech automobile is able to perceive something in one of the most eerie locations in the United States. The clip was captured by an unidentified driver on a rural road that was not illuminated and passed through the Kulen region in the state of Kedah, which is located in the northwestern part of Malaysia. The footage was shot around 3:25 in the morning, and the first thing that is seen is a lady wearing a kebaya, which is a traditional garment consisting of a shirt and a skirt. Even though it is late in the evening, the driver and passenger do not seem to be very worried. However, at that moment, another lady is seen strolling slowly down the side of the road. She is wearing the exact same gold skirt and red top as the first woman. Also, there is a third figure that is similar to the previous two that is spotted a few dozen yards later. This time, the person is traveling with a greater sense of purpose. Whenever the vehicle turns a bend, a fourth iteration of the person in red appears in the exact center of the road. After the vehicle comes to a stop, the driver seems to lose his composure and begins to reverse. There were 500,000 individuals who saw the footage, and among them, there were several conspiracy ideas. It was speculated by some that the eerie image was a publicity gimmick for the forthcoming horror film, The Legend of Pontianak, which would feature Noor Fazura Sharifuddin, an actress and a fashion icon from Malaysia. There was no driver present when the tempo of the Pune Municipal Corporation unexpectedly began traveling backward. In the video, a temple with 4 wheels can be seen traveling at a high rate of speed while driving in reverse without a driver. As a result of the fact that the road it is going is not sliding, many people believe that it is a paranormal activity. On the other hand, the precise cause for the vehicle's uncontrolled movement in reverse at Hadapsar is yet unclear. According to the reports, the incident took place on the Vedawati overpass at about 11:45 p.m. Unfortunately, the road was deserted since it was so late in the evening. After a period of time spent going, the car collides with a divider from the rear and comes to a stop at that location. Following the video's emergence on the internet, the PMC authority has been under scrutiny as the public calls for explanations and responsibility over the occurrence. The individual who is driving asserts that the video that you are going to see was captured by a dashcam in Falmouth. In the description, it is said that the driver believed that they had perhaps recorded a deer or a demonic figure that was moving quickly. Indeed, the more you view this video, the more certain you'll be that the animal that was filmed is not a deer by any stretch of the imagination. During the course of watching the video, you will see what looks to be a shadowy shape, blob, that is huge and black, and it moves fast across the road before disappearing from view. According to the driver, this demonic figure is still very terrifying. He added, "No matter what you think this thing could be, it's still pretty cool." The footage from a dashcam that shows a ghost car that suddenly appears out of thin air and causes an accident at a busy intersection in Singapore has caused users of social media to feel fearful. The footage is perplexing since it shows a silver automobile suddenly appearing in the camera, colliding with a white BMW, and then disappearing from view. This is really weird. Played a few times, and still cannot figure out where the car is from. Jackie Tong Liang commented on the Roads.'s Facebook page, which is where the footage was uploaded. According to the posting, the collision did not result in any injuries to any individuals. Specialists believe that the optical illusion may have been caused by the amazing synchronization of the two cars, and that the white vehicle that is turning obscures the view of the other car from the camera. However, the automobile could seem to appear out of thin air, and if you examine the footage in great detail, you will notice that it is a ghost car. Additionally, the collision is more difficult to notice due to the distortion that is caused by the reflection of the dashcam. Users on the internet are perplexed by a shocking video that seems to show a ghost car appearing out of nowhere. Thus, the clip that was published on the Facebook page of Dashcam Owners Australia shows a grey Astra being thrown across the road as it collides with a utility truck. However, many have been left absolutely bewildered by the automobile that seems to have materialized out of thin air. In other words, a bright orange Hyundai, and a white utility truck are the two vehicles that are in front of the vehicle that were used to record the interaction. The right lane is given a green arrow, and the cars keep turning that way until a little gray Astra appears out of nowhere. The force of the impact causes it to go in a straight line into the truck, which causes it to be thrown about. A significant number of commentators have admitted that they had to view the video a number of times before they were able to comprehend what was taking place. Where the hell did that Astra even come from? I watched the video nearly a dozen times and am still none the wiser. One person wrote, "It's a ghost car out of nowhere." Another posted, "An individual who is driving asserts that they have recorded on camera the specter of a dead bride and that it was on the same route where she was slain 27 years ago." According to the locals, the deadly accident took place in 1989. While the newlyweds were on their way to a park to celebrate with their friends after the wedding ceremony. Their vehicle is said to have collided with a truck when it was turning a corner. The bride was dead, but the groom managed to live. Now, Karina Dmitrieva, who hails from Moscow, claims that she saw the silhouette of a young lady who seemed to be wearing a bridal gown and a veil when she was driving on the road. Furthermore, while Ms. Dmitrieva was traveling with another lady, she examined her dashcam, which seemed to indicate that she had in fact seen anything. Locals said that the route had been the scene of 10 deadly incidents over the course of the previous 10 years, prompting it to be referred to as a black spot. Paranormal investigators have referred to the footage as a sensation after it was published on many social media platforms. Ilya Sagliani, who is a paranormal investigator, said that there had been other sightings of a ghostly bride at the location after the incident. In his statement, he said, "2 years ago, we got a picture of a barely visible silhouette of a young woman standing on the side of the road. This video is a real sensation. I've been studying this infamous road for a good 8 years. Also, a number of drivers have reported experiencing unexplained occurrences on the road, such as unexpected fog and demonic figures. This is the moment when a scared driver, who was under the impression that a ghost was seated in the middle of the road, made the decision to do a dramatic U-turn." Aswan Yap, who was 25 years old at the time, was traveling with a buddy when he saw what seemed to be a ghost sitting down in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Due to the fact that they were so terrified, they brought the vehicle to a stop and immediately reversed it before driving off in the other direction. Spooked out even more, according to Aswan, was the appearance of the dashcam warning lights at the same moment. Also, it is reported that a haunted abandoned house may be found in the Bukit Tumka neighborhood of the city, which is where the footage was taken. Despite the fact that some people assume it is a person preparing to rob them while sitting on the road, Mr. Yap, a journalist, is persuaded that it is a ghost. According to what he claimed, "I was scared. There's no doubt about it. For me, honestly, I thought it was a ghost. When we checked the car's error logs, it said that the car thought it had crashed, which was also really spooky." After Mr. Yap's buddies were too terrified to return to the location of the road, he decided to take a more lengthy alternate way home. He added, "We've watched enough horror movies to know you don't mess around with this." Just when we stopped, all the warning lights came on and the dash cam started showing an error. If you honestly think that's a cat, trash can, or whatever on the road, then I really hope you don't have a driver's license. If your eyesight is so bad, you really shouldn't be behind the wheel. This is not a joke. This happened around 10 p.m. between Lake Gardens and Kenny Hills. Some people are saying it's probably someone playing a prank or that it's someone trying to rob us. Even if we ignore the fact that the car's dashboard was lighting up, you would still want to get off the road as quickly as possible. The footage begins with a 4-segment CCTV camera that is centered on a crossing. In the beginning, everything seems to be normal. But as the camera changes to a single screen, things begin to take an unsettling turn. In the video, a vehicle can be seen traveling at a high rate of speed along the road, and suddenly a demonic figure emerges. It would seem that the automobile does not even notice that the ghost is there as it goes straight past it. After that, the camera focuses on the form, and it seems to be a lady dressed in a white dress and with long black hair. Even after the automobile has passed past her, she is still standing where she was before. The video, which was published on YouTube, has received more than 400,000 views since it was released, and all of the viewers went absolutely crazy over the video, and several of them said that they had seen this ghost before. On the other hand, Other users were less certain, and one user wrote, Explanation 1. A spirit, entity, or ghost manifests itself in one of the busiest streets in the city, and no one has noticed, no doubt, because this entity comes from an alternate dimension. Furthermore, the frightening picture of the ghost girl was mentioned by a startled expert who took a similar photograph at a witch temple prior to this incident. Leadhart, who is a member of Really Haunted UK, was present at the Nidri Street vaults in Edinburgh. He said that there were disturbances that could not be explained. Examples of this include the relocation of furniture and the discharge of missiles at certain visitors. In addition to that, he said that the stones and tables seemed to move on their own. According to others who were with Lee, the eerie vision very definitely depicts a ghost presence on the chair that is located to the left. For more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video. Comment below which case you find the most terrifying, and don't forget to press the bell icon for future notifications.